You're right, guys, it's Capgun Tom here, and I'm back for another episode of Team of the Week. We're just going to have a quick look at this week's Team of the Week. Looks pretty beast. The week is the 28th of March, and it will be running until the 4th of April. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. We'll start off with the strikers. Up front, we have Huntelaar, who looks pretty sick for a Dutch striker. If you're making a Dutch squad, I think that you're in form. Huntelaar is going to be in there. 86 shootings, pretty beast, and 87 heading as well. Pretty awesome. So very good player anyway, and also plays in the Bundesliga, so might be one for your Bundesliga teams. The other striker position, we have Benzema. Now, hopefully EA aren't going to troll like they did like with the last inform. I remember he got an inform, it was going for about 150k. Then like a week later they released his upgraded version, which was just a copy of his inform card, so people with his inform card lost out big time. But if we have a look at him, he's got pace of 90, shooting of 92, dribbling of 89, looks absolutely amazing. I mean, I was always a bit iffy whether to use Benzema in La Liga teams, but with this inform card, I'd say that it's definitely one to pick up because he looks like he's going to be an absolute tank. The other striker that we have is Del Piero, the old veteran from Juventus. Juventus seem to be getting a lot of informs at the moment. Over the last couple of weeks, they've been picking up quite a few. Unfortunately, he's got quite slow pace, but that's just due to his age. But, his shooting and his passing and his dribbling sort of make up for that. He's more probably going to be a playmaker, take a few long shots with him than, breaking through defences and attacking the goal. I think that probably he'll be moved in centre-forward role more than he would be played as a striker. Another exciting player that we see that's in form this week is Thierry Henry. Awesome player, doesn't really need any introduction. Obviously playing for Red Bull in the MLS. It's an 83 over 80 overall card. 84 pace, 86 shooting, 87 dribbling. I think a lot of people are going to want him for their teams. Shame he's not still on loan at Arsenal, isn't it? Because it would have been nice to see him with an inform in the Premiership. But oh well, you can't help everything. In the midfield, we have Raul Garcia, who plays for Osasuna. Looks pretty standard. I wouldn't be too fussed about getting him for Liga teams. There's a lot of better midfielders you'll probably pick up for cheaper. Pace of 67, not brilliant, but he does have decent shooting, passing, and dribbling stats as well. Not too bad there. The next player I'm going to say is probably going to be the best player in this team of the week, and that is Kagawa. I've recently been using Kagawa, the non-inform version, and he is a beast. I mean, this is his third inform. He's having an awesome season, and I was blown away by his stats for his second inform. So looking at his third inform stats is unreal. Like, I mean, look, 89 pace, 90 shooting, 89 passing, 92 dribbling. That is just immense. It's just ridiculous. Unfortunate for those people who have already got inform Kagawa, because I can imagine his price is going to drop a bit, but I guess that they'll probably be off buying this new one. Anyway, on to the next player. We have Amadov. He plays in the Russian league for that team that I'm not going to try and pronounce, the A something, Machal, something like that team. Looks pretty dodgy. I wouldn't recommend him for any teams, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot better centre defensive mids in that league, like Roberto Carlos, for example. Moving on to the defence, we have Caceres with another inform, playing at right back. I don't know about him really. I don't know whether he'd be one that you're going to get because he's playing for Juventus. There's a lot of very good right backs in Serie A already, like Maicon, for example. He does have decent pace and passing, defending and heading stats though, so maybe he'd be one to try out, see if he's better than Maicon. Next player, big player from FC Barcelona, and that is PK. Now, PK is one that I would never, ever even dream of putting in my team. I know he's got a huge rating, but just looking at his pace, I know people hate to talk about pace, but really, if you look at him, 66 pace, you're going to be getting beaten by people all day, every day, especially if you're playing goals up against a sweaty, bent a Bonglehor pace rape team. It's just not one that I'd like to mess around with. I prefer to play someone with lower stats with higher pace, to be honest. Moving on, we have Gibbs from Arsenal. I think he got his debut goal this weekend for them, so that'll probably be why he was in it. In fact, did he get two? I'm not really sure. Don't go mad at me for that. But 86 pace, 75 passing, 76 dribbling, 78 defending. Pretty good all-round stats. Might be one to think about putting in your Barclays Premier League English teams. So yeah. Another big player, definitely going to be a starting player for a lot of people's teams, and that is Hugo Lloris in goal. Obviously, he's already the number one choice goalkeeper for League One and French teams. So his inform is obviously going to be worth quite a bit, especially with its 87 rating. Has some excellent attributes like 92 reflex and 91 diving. Yeah, I could say I was going to can't say about his positioning, but that's 88 as well. I mean, looks like a fantastic goalkeeper. Maybe it's just his distribution, which will be a bit, I don't know, dodgy. His kicking's only 80, but, you know, if you're throwing it out, you've got no problems there. Right, we'll move on to the bench. We'll do the goal players first, and at right back we have Pizek. He plays in the Bundesliga, Polish player, looks very decent actually, but you know he's never going to take the place of Philipp Lahm, which is unfortunate. I mean, if Lahm had been moved to left back like I thought he was going to be when EA was trolling me and they decided to move him, put him on the web app as a left back, and then in game he's a right back. So I tell everyone that he's going to be at left back, and it's awesome because then you can play players like this at right back and have a decent defence. You know, they just trolled me and put him at right back. So what can you do? Anyway, he looks pretty decent, so maybe one to think about. We then have Morales, left winger, Belgian from Olympiacos. Looks absolutely sick, I won't lie. 90 pace, 86 dribbling, 91 shooting. I think that he scored was it 4 or 5 goals this weekend? Absolutely insane. There's no way he was never going to get in form, so good to see him in there. Right, now we'll move on to the silver players. We have a silver Brazilian goalkeeper, and unfortunately doesn't play in Liga do Brazil, but I mean, looking at him, he doesn't look like, usually when I go for a goalkeeper I'm always looking at their overall rating. I don't tend to look at their other stats. I don't look at the overall rating before I look at anything else, just because a higher overall rated goalkeeper is usually better. I mean, there are cases where it's not. I mean, Joe Hart I would say is better than Cech, but ignoring that, you know, the fact that he plays in Liga Portuguesa as well, I just can't see him being worth all that much. Obviously, silvers go for a bit more because they don't come out of the packs as much. Anyway, moving on, we have Owita from Bolton. Now he's going to be a big one. I can see him being worth a lot of coins. I mean, he's going to be rivaling, you know, the people who you see in the silver Premier League silver teams. So definitely one to look out for. If you get him in the pack, you're going to be hitting a lot of coins there. We then have McCulloch from Rangers. Looks like an awesome player. Very good all-round stats for a silver. 70 pace, 72 dribbling, 71 shooting, 78 defending, 70 passing, 75 heading. Looks like a box-to-box player. Even if he's a CDM, I imagine moving into centre mid will do very good for him. And he looks like he'll be awesome. I mean, there's a lot of Scottish Premier League teams out there, so I can imagine him being worth quite a bit. The next player is Smelts from Perth Glory. Looks alright. I mean, I'm always a bit, I don't know, I'm awkward about these players from leagues that aren't well made. You know, like people make teams out of them all the time. Obviously, the A-League isn't that popular, but I don't know. Maybe he will go for a bit. He looks quite decent. Anyway, last player in this team of the week is Elm. Plays for, is it FC Twente? No, it's not. It's SC Heerenveen. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Looks like a decent player. Good centre mid. I mean, I see a lot of Swedish nationality teams because people love to get Ibrahimovic in there. But I don't know. Maybe he'd be one to get. I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm sure you guys have a lot more knowledge on these things than I do because I don't build every team. I'm sure a lot of you have built Swedish teams before and you'll know how good he is. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little episode. If you have, please leave a like. I will be doing another one of these next week as I do every week, and I will also be uploading Road to Recovery tomorrow. So I will be doing a little bit of a live stream. I'm thinking of starting at 8, so be there or be square, I guess, and I'll leave it there. So see you later guys. Cheers.